Hello and welcome to your Bullet Crossfire 2200BH. Just going to start right up front here with a light, just in case you need to hook up at night. Have it retract and extend for your automatic power jack. This is electric, so obviously if it does go out, you can peel this tab up, and right behind it, if you insert a tool, you can manually override this to make it go up or down. Right behind here, you have this little black pointer. So all it does is point to whatever propane tank it's going to use and whichever one it's reading. By reading this little red piece here, that will turn green once it has a steady flow of propane going through the system. So once again, this pointing to this tank, it's going to read this tank and take propane from this tank. And then once you turn it on, have a steady flow going through, that little green tab there, like the little red tab there, will turn green. Right behind it, this is gonna be your battery disconnect. So all you gotta do is turn it to whatever piece you would like it to do. When you turn that on, that actually turns or cuts all power off to the inside of your camper. So when you go ahead and turn that, the entire camper just shuts down. Solar plug, just in case you do put a solar panel on this. Just make sure to get that exact input. Coming inside here, you have your retract and extend for all of your stabilizer jacks. I'm just gonna run one out right here in front of us so I can show you how that works. Basically, one side's gonna drop. As soon as that hits, it pushes the other side down. There we go. That actually went out pretty smooth. But now, as soon as you feel a little bit of tension going, go ahead and let off. You don't want to keep going because they're not meant to raise, they're meant to just stabilize. And then, once again, retract up. Just gonna do the back, put this same for the back here. There we go. Kind of see it there. But moving on to the water selections here. I'm gonna start on the left with your fresh water. So this is if you need to take water with you. So for example, let's say you're going out to the middle of nowhere and you're not gonna have a steady source of water. Go ahead and fill this tank up. This tank, it's gonna take a little while to fill, obviously, because if you're gonna need it for a long vacation out in the wilderness, it's gonna be a little bit. Once you have this filled, you have a reader on the inside which will tell you how full it actually is. And then you will actually be able to turn on the water pump, and that water pump will take this water that you put into this tank and then push it through your systems. So I'll go over the water pump in a little bit once we get inside and I can explain it a little better. This is gonna be your city water connection. So if you pop this open, if you go to a campground and you have that line with steady water, this is where you plug it into. What I do recommend getting is a water pressure regulator, just because campgrounds are pushing for a lot of people, so there's gonna be a lot of pressure. I would just recommend getting one so the water pressure doesn't blow out your lines. Once again, coming to your fresh water connection, let's say you still have water left over after your vacation. Just underneath here, that's gonna be your empty. So if you go ahead and turn that, that'll start to empty out the lowest point of your freshwater connection and fully drain this. If you have excess water, outside shower, hot and cold side, and then your tip goes right in here. All you gotta do is push down, go ahead and pull up. Same for bringing it out. Underneath here, you have your low point drains, hot and cold side. So if you do go to empty all the water out of your camper, you have both the hot and cold lines right there. Moving over to your tires. This little green cap on both indicate that your tires are filled with nitrogen. Since your tires are filled with nitrogen, you're still able to fill it with regular air. It doesn't make a difference. It won't inflate or deflate with temperature change, so you'll be okay. This is the back of your refrigerator if you ever need to access it. Below, this is going to be your furnace exhaust. So obviously this is going to get very hot with all the heat coming out of here. So if you have any little kids, just let them know Don't touch this because it will get burned. This is gonna be your camp power or your shore power here. This is gonna be your black tank flush. So this black tank flush, if you put a pressurized hose into that, that actually activates a sprinkler inside of your black tank, which helps give it one last rinse to help get the toilet paper and other crud that may have gotten stuck on the way out. This just gives it one last rinse before you go ahead and do your gray tank. Talking about your sewer systems, you have your black and gray tank pole here. What I do recommend doing is the black tank first, just because that's going to be the dirtiest water out of these two. So go ahead and pull this. All of your crud and toilet paper and whatever's in your toilets will come out. Once that's done, then go ahead and do your black tank flush. Once you're done with your black tank flush, go ahead and do the gray tank. I recommend doing the gray tank last, just because this is going to be the cleanest water out of these two. So pull this, and this will just give it one last final rinse before you go ahead and put your hands on there. You have a TV outside, little input there. This is backup camera ready, so if you do purchase a backup camera, just pop that little piece off with a couple screws, take those out, put your camera in, and you'll have a little tablet which will go into your cigarette lighter. Once it's in there, you're able to turn your running lights on, and as soon as you turn your running lights on, it'll start to feed through. Outside kitchen here, just a fridge and this table you can pull out. Come into your water heater. If you open this up, I'm gonna run you through this real quick. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. The main things that you really need to know is just this and this. So basically, to plug this up so you can start putting water through, you take this, it's a 1 1/16 socket. Go ahead and put it on here and tighten down. Now that's on there, go ahead on the inside and turn on the hot side of your faucet. It'll start to sputter. Don't worry, that's normal. It's just all the air getting completely pushed out of your tank. Once your tank is filled with water, it'll have a steady flow coming out of that hot side of the faucet. Once you have a steady flow, go ahead on the inside and turn on the water heater switch, and this will start to warm your water. Water does get stagnant and pressure does build up. So when you do go to empty it, make sure you pull this little pressure release valve here. You'll hear it hiss. Once it's done hissing, then go ahead, pop this off. Don't throw it, and all the water will start to pour out of here. The reason why I said all the pressure builds up, so make sure you do the pressure release, is because that will actually shoot out at you with all that pressure built up. So once again, take the socket, pull that off, and then pull this at the very end one more time, just to make the water come out faster. Right next to it, you're gonna have your 110 outlets. For your stairs, go ahead, fold the first step, and then lift up and get a little bit of pressure going in. And then your stairs will slide in just like that. Just in case your awning ever electrically goes out, you have a little tab there. Peel that tab off and use a tool, and you can bring this back in or back out if it ever electrically goes out. This little light in here is just a little tap right in the middle. This is gonna be curly hose for the outside shower head to go with it. And this is a 110 outlet. So let's say you need to cool your fridges before you leave for a vacation. Go ahead, plug this into your house, and then plug your shore power into here, and then of course into your camper. And this will start to cool your fridges. Coming into the inside here, you have all of your electric panels. You'll start up top, you have all of your readers. So your battery, fresh tank, black, and gray. And then you have your awning retract and extend. Make sure your door is not fully open, otherwise it will hit. But I'm just gonna extend this out for you. You'll know it's fully extended when the flap, this one doesn't have a flap. You know it's fully extended when the little black bar, you can start to see that come through. to pitch it for the rain, because obviously it's gonna rain at some point, all I do is grab here and pull down, and then the rainwater will start to slide off of this side. You are able to do it with the other side too. This one's just more convenient because it's right next to the door. But they say you can reel it in like this, but I just recommend bringing it back out straight before you bring it in. And this is also the reason why you don't want your door all the way out. It's because it will end up getting caught. So just bring it in a little bit and let it come out. All right, you have 2 elements to your water heater. So you have electric and gas. For example, let's say you need to take a really hot shower. Go ahead and just do both, but you can do one of each. This is that water pump switch. So the water pump will take water from your fresh tank and push it through your line, so you have running water through your sink, shower, whatever you need, out in the middle of nowhere. You have your porch lights, which is also your awning just underneath it, with a little LED strip there. And then ceiling lights, of course, which you are able to turn off by clicking the middle for all of them. Moving on, for your AC, you control everything through here. Fan this way and then cooling this way. All you gotta do is click it one way or another. Otherwise, you can have it off. And this is also how cold you do want it. It's all through these dials here. And then this closes and opens up. If you want it to dump out here, have it open. Closed if you want it to come out. These, which you can adjust. Come to your keys here. The purples are going to be your main doors. The grays are going to be your outside baggage doors. And then this little silver key here, this is going to be for your outside showers. Come into your stove top here. All you got to do is click, turn to light, go ahead and light it, and then adjust. Same goes for this one. Coming down here, this is going to be your carbon monoxide detector. This carbon monoxide detector never turns off as a safety feature. Even if you unplug your shore power, it'll go off of your battery. So what I do recommend is if you're going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery. Even when you turn your battery disconnect off, this actually keeps drawing power because of this little green light here that indicates that it's on. So when this is always on, it's always going to be drawing power and it'll eventually kill your battery. So once again, if you're going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery and then you'll be good to go. With this dial here, you can control your heat. You can hear it kick on. Well, otherwise, far right is going to be your off. Coming to your sound system here. It's just a tap to turn on. You have your radio volume here. Zone 1 is going to be your inside. If you hold it, it'll turn off. Zone 2 is going to be your outside speakers. Hold to turn off. Hold to turn back on. You have your AM, FM, USB, and Bluetooth and source up here. And then also tap to mute, both at the same time. And then once again, hold off to kill the power. Right here, this is going to be your breakers and your fuses. I do recommend bringing extra fuses just in case. I'd rather be safe than sorry. But then all of your breakers are labeled. It's just like a house. For your toilet, it's just a foot flush here. What you are going to need is toilet solution along with RV grade toilet paper. The toilet paper will help break down easier so it doesn't end up clogging your systems or, you know, all that good jazz. And the solution will actually help break down solids and smells. So that's just another key component that you need for your toilet. For your fan, you crank open, and then this little switch runs the fan. You can crank back closed too. Coming to your couch and your bed, you grab your couch, go ahead and lift up to get your fingers underneath there. Flatten this out. go ahead to each side and bring this down. This gray piece is going to fold open just like this and lay down just as the stabilizer. And now your bed is ready and good to go. And then once again, just do the opposite of what you just did. Lift up and insert the, there we go. Go ahead and insert the clips on both sides to hold it steady. And once again, opposite thing for your couch. Lift up, keep pulling up and put a little bit of pressure into it, and it'll fold right back.